And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Were you guys saying something about me while I was gone?
Absolutely.
How cute you are.
Okay, that's fine. Hey, Swiss, your face is all weird.
Yeah, you're blurry.
That's rude.
No,
What do you
no,
mean?
he's all you're a little blurry.
So I was telling him to focus.
Okay.
Okay, fair enough. It's okay. You're not in this episode anyway, so don't worry about it.
Okay, that's fine.
So,
He leans back.
when we last left our heroes, having made their way through the strange teleportation circle into Basil's book, the party found themselves in a dark grayscape, if you will. At first, unknowingly, there was nothing to be found in the environment. Nothing new, aside for one thing. During their discussions, V attempted to look into the emotions of the other players, other party members, only to find a new one there with them. It was in that moment that Oksana and Gremor realized that now they themselves could see Brynny as well. And as they begin to describe, while Brynny began to describe where exactly they were, along with Basil, Gremor tried to nope the hell out of there. Unfortunately, upon turning around, he was met face to face with a giant pyramid with two sphinx of cats sitting out front. At his own behest and his own fear, he and the party made their way inside of the large pyramid. As they entered into the fray, they realized that they were no longer in this pyramid that they had seen out front, but instead back into a place that Gremor had remembered, a time he had spent much at, the strange orphanage. Many of his past memories coming back to haunt him in the most vivid way possible. However, the brave little soul of Gremor continued onward, making his way downstairs to his greatest fear. Meanwhile, Sicarius himself was also living out his greatest fear. Finding himself in a familiar doorway, he entered once again, only to find a woman being tossed about by a spindly old man. Sicarius attempted to do something about it, but it seemed his muscles would not allow him to. And so, he continued to live onward in this memory, over and over and over again. Meanwhile, as the party made their way down into the depths of this basement, finally finding themselves face to face with Gremor's fear, a strange room filled with objects of torture, stains of blood all around, and a small cage that sat directly in the center of the room, where an unconscious body seemed to glow a magenta color. As they advanced forward, suddenly two beasts appeared from either side of the cage. Massive cats that leaked like ink, very similar to the way that Basil's book had acted before. A battle ensued, but our heroes were able to overcome. And as they made their way over to the small cage, opening the door, the individual began to awake. And as the individual turned their face towards the party, they saw the spitting image of Sicarius staring back at them. And so, our story continues. Gremor. The fear temporarily leaves your body. Only for the simple fact that shock has now taken its space. As the man wipes his long hair away from his face, you take a closer look, adjusting your goggles. Without question, this is Sicarius.
Oh, wait. Well, I thought you were someone else. I guess we found Sicarius. You feeling all right, buddy?
I'm much better now that I see you guys have finally come to rescue me.
Great, let's go.
Please let me out first. I'm still in the cage.
I'm getting weird vibes.
Yeah. Wait, what is our passcode, Sicarius? We made a word to know if we've been taken over by someone else. What was the word?
Throat punch?
Yeah, you got it.
Yes.
Yep.
And
Let him out of the cage.
I'm gonna check for traps, and then I'm gonna pick a lock if there is one. And let him out.
As you look around the cage, there is just a simple padlock, same as you can remember from years before. As you quickly pick the lock, it snaps open.
As soon as it opens, Sicarius will reach down and give Gremor a big hug and pick him up. Oh, thank you so much for this. It means so much that you guys have come for me. And I reach over and try to just hug everybody around. Oh, thank you. It's been you don't know how it's been.
Wow.
What is going on?
You seem different.
What do you mean?
Nothing.
Well, fascinatingly, you seem to be, if you don't mind me saying, happier?
Yes.
Well, wouldn't you be happy if somebody were to rescue you?
He makes
Well,
a valid
yeah.
point. I mean, I've actually been. I've been where he is, and when you're really happy when you finally get out of there.
Well, I mean, I guess. I mean, sure. I'm just not often find that a place like this makes people into, happier. But I'm now glad
Sicarius
that we
just reaches
can.
up. Shh, you're overthinking it. Please, just
Oh.
be calm. Just come on.
Okay.
You gotta just rubs Basil's face. Like, please. There's no need.
All right,
for
I may have jumped the gun. I think there's something wrong with him.
it.
As Sicarius continues to stroke Basil's beautiful head, he then turns to look to all of you, seemingly wanting to express his emotion a little bit more towards each of you. In this time,
I would definitely like to insight the hell out of this.
okay, give me an insight check.
That's fair.
Just while.
Is there a roll that will signify if it's just the wig or if it's actually Sicarius?
I'd like to get a wig check, please, if you wouldn't mind.
All right, that is a 15.
A 15. As you kind of eye the new Sicarius up and down, you do take note. And strangely enough, something that you've never seen, even during your time here before. He exudes that magenta glow. As Sicarius kind of makes his way to the rest of the group, you feel Brynny brush up beside you. I noticed it too, Basil.
But there shouldn't be any colors here, not in this place.
Not only the colors, but clearly his demeanor has changed.
What does it mean?
There's only one possibility that I can think of off the top of my head. As you are aware, the supposed king and ruler of this place only wants one thing: fear. Is it a possibility that he somehow was able to get rid of the other emotions? To tear your friend into nothing more than fear? And if so, where would those other emotions go?
That's a very interesting thought. This might be one of many pieces that may have been discarded. One that clearly touches into Sicarius's more pleasant side.
He does seem very lovely.
I will. He does. Yes. Everyone, just gather around for a moment. Brynny has a thought which I think might be worth bringing to everyone's
And
attention.
I have not put Gremor down yet, by the way. I'm holding it up.
Gremor's like goggles are messed up, like off to the side. It was like that's just from like the smothering.
I'm also imagining dripping in like displacer blood. Like
Right.
He is still like very inked up, I guess.
They're wiping it off and straightening his goggles.
Yeah, just to not take up more time, he'll relay pretty much exactly what Brynny had said, and he won't take credit for it. He'll say that this is the theory. I'm inclined to agree, which could mean that this is but one of a few Sicariuses we may need to find to bring him back. That being
which
said,
one is this one? Why does he keep touching everybody?
Well, would you mind,
Oksana,
Sicarius
it's all
greatly, if I-
about just being one with each other.
Holy
Don't you
shit.
understand?
I don't like this one. Can we leave him
Sicarius,
here?
would I have your consent to conduct a small experiment to see if we can maybe ascertain your origin of sorts?
And what kind of experiment are you suggesting?
Oh, just to test
Oh
to see
my
if.
god! What the fuck?
Wow. Okay. Well,
I think this is the spicy one.
yeah. Well, well, mostly just to see if you have a range of emotional spectrums or simply are in a singular condition.
By all means, do what you wish to me.
Oh, Jesus.
Holy shit!
All right. Oksana, could you
Yeah.
slap Sicarius really hard, please?
Where?
Don't do this.
In the face.
All right, I'll give him a little slap, a little love tap.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Put them back in the cage.
Oh,
Okay. Does Sicarius show any other emotion apart from joy? Is there pain, basically? Is there anger? Is there any...
If there is pain, I think he likes it.
There is no pain here.
Okay, yes. I think Brynny's onto something, and... I mean, I don't dislike Sicarius this way, but we can't leave the rest of him here.
I think it's very important that we collect the other bits. I mean, just as
I
much as
agree.
I'm enjoying this quality time.
He's still hugging him.
You will walk in front of us, please.
Who, to me?
Yes, please.
If you insist, fine.
All right.
I do
Well-
insist.
Well, if we're going to find
What
the
Gremor, like, come, Gremor. We shall lead the way together.
All right, big guy.
You know the safe word, please. If you need help, just say, "Yeah, I will come get you." Yes.
All right. Well,
Why wait? The more the merrier. Come on.
now while we're
What did you
here, clearly we are still in Gremor's manifestation, and with these beasties now gone, the next direction should show itself, or unless there is something else that Gremor can fathom as to where we should be going next.
I think I've pretty much had my fill of this place, guys. Also, I think there's a dog coming. That's scary in itself, right?
That's pretty terrifying. I feel like that dog has been following you for some time. I remember it in the Astral Sea.
Yeah, I think he might have teamed up with the cats.
It must be a spirit animal to help protect against the kitty cats.
Yes, Gremor sells his soul for a helmet.
Don't like kitty cats either. I can't get
Liz,
through
don't
this
say it
roleplay,
anymore.
guys.
You
All right,
can't.
is there? All right, that large, massive hole in the ground, in this room, is that there? Like, I mean, like,
As you
if I go up to it, is it a hole?
As you walk over to the opposite side of the room, there is one of the grates that seems to have been broken out. Strangely enough, though, where the first two in the front of the room that were still fully intact, you could clearly see a water system running in front of it, or underneath it. The hole in the back doesn't have the same feature. In fact, when you look down, you see nothing at all. Just darkness.
All right, I think it might be this way. Sicarius?
Yes.
If you wouldn't mind, let us make our way down. And, well, I'm going to argue with Oksana. If you wish to lead the way, then that way is... Look, I will keep waffling. I'm very scared and don't want to be here anymore, but I don't want... I will push someone if you don't come. I will throw you to the wolves, quite literally. Come
Okay.
on.
Let's go.
As Sicarius turns around,
chicken with me?
as Sicarius turns around, he begins to make his way with Gremor towards the back of the room. As he passes by each of you, you take notice of more so the way that he walks. Very much a swagger in his step, almost like he's on a catwalk, baby. And as he finally reaches the hole in the floor, turning back and giving a wink to all of you.
Don't forget the hair flip.
And a hair flip, apparently.
Okay.
Sorry.
You watch as Sicarius, with Gremor still in hand, jumps into the hole. Basil, you watch them fall for but a moment before they vanish completely into the darkness.
All right. I'm going to hold my breath because there's no guarantee there's air on the other side. And then I'll jump in.
What the frick, man?
He'll actually say that as he jumps in.
Oksana, having seen Sicarius' hair flip, Oksana will, like, shake her head and then she'll jump in.
Okay.
We will follow in, Oksana.
Okay. But just before you're about to jump in, V, Brynny stops you for a moment.
Of course she does. What sus thing did Basil do now? that was the player. That didn't say anything.
V, are you all right here?
I suppose just as all right as everyone else is. Why do I seem weird?
No, you don't. It's more Basil that I find odd right now.
What's wrong with Basil?
He seems more driven than he usually is. This could simply be him wanting to find his friend again, but I do worry that this place might be having some type of effect on him. You share part of that power now, and I was just curious if you had felt anything. A surge, a jolt of energy, a higher focus, anything along those lines.
Did V feel anything different?
I don't know, has V felt anything different?
I mean, no. I don't think so. I feel the same, although Basil did just turn into a not werewolf. Very clear on that. Not a werewolf.
Yes, well,
So
he
maybe-
does that at times.
Maybe he's just supercharged here. Something. What's the worst that could come of it? An overpowered Basil would just help us get out of here, right?
Perhaps. And not to say that if my assumptions are correct, you're going to need all the fight that you can. If Sicarius is in fact with the Nightmare King, you have a lot on your plate.
Well, that's concerning. Do you know a lot about this Nightmare King?
Some. And I would be happy to tell you all of it. However, it would take some time. Perhaps when we have a little bit of a rest, or have a moment that we can get away, I'd be happy to explain a little bit more for you. But promise me one thing, V.
What's that?
Don't let Basil know that I've talked to you just yet.
All right. Why?
I don't want his suspicion aroused. And not for any kind of malicious intent. I'm just worried for my friend.
All right. Anything I should keep an eye out for? If he starts attacking us, or... I don't know.
I would describe it as recklessness.
All right. It's going to be difficult to discern what's reckless and what's not in here, that's for sure. But I'll keep an eye out on it.
Thank you, V. It is appreciated. Well, no time like the present then, as she looks down at the hole at the floor.
Hopefully there's air, and V will take a breath and jump in.
Okay. As you fall down into the darkness, you find yourself falling until you hit a soft, grassy patch. Looking around immediately, you immediately take note of your companions as they continue to look around as well. You find yourself in a forest, as far as the eye can see. The forest is far-reaching, dark, but thriving. Its canopy completely ruled over by spruce and fir trees. You can see from the canopy, in sparse areas, a twinkling light that seems to burst out from atop the canopy, and through the crown down into the bushes below. You take note of the bundled branches high above. They seem to embrace every tree, while a morning dew softly kisses the ground in front of you. You can hear a mishmash of sounds, predominantly those of foraging beasts, adding just a little bit of life to the forest itself, and forming an almost orchestral-like tune of nature. Croaks of frogs in nearby ponds.
Are there any flowers nearby?
While difficult to make out, as again, you continue to reside in this strange grayscape atmosphere, you do see a few plants with petals and flowers.
Sicarius will put Gremor down, go grab a bunch, and start heading to each one. Here, and I put it in their hair. This will help you. This looks so beautiful. Thank you very much. Thank you again for rescuing me. And then I try to give hugs. After I put
yeah.
He puts her arms up like
don't resist me. You know this is good for you.
Oksana will just like stand stoically and stare at him.
When he gives Oksana a hug, you must teach me your workout routine.
Touch me again, and I will rip your throat out. How does that sound?
You need to
Oksana,
release
that's-
that anger. That's so much hate. We need to relax a little bit, Oksana.
Get away from me, please. Thank you.
Gremor is gonna hide from,
You're gonna hide.
like, behind Oksana.
Gremor, as...
Unfortunately, Oksana... Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead, Basil.
I was going to say, unfortunately, Oksana, I don't think threats are going to work on Sicarius for a while. His fear is literally not there. It just won't... There's nothing. It's like brick wall.
I will keep trying.
Please do.
Very well.
Gremor, as you begin to shake your head and quickly
winks.
move over to Oksana. You're a few inches away before something catches your eye, moving quickly. A glimmer for a brief second, followed by a sound. As an impact of an arrow hits Oksana directly in the back. She lurches forward. You see an ounce of blood now pooling around her shoulder. As you do, just behind a few trees, you can see what looks to be a raiding party. Heavy armor, all in black, as it begins to rush towards all of you. I need everybody to roll initiative for me.
That was quick.
Yeah, that was really fast. Oh
Hey,
boy.
Sicarius, do you have that potion of healing? Because I think you do.
Oksana, you take 3 points of piercing damage.
Great.
And we will turn this
Welcome to initiative.
down.
We
Welcome
didn't even
to
heal
initiative.
We didn't stop to heal anyone after battle. Guys,
No, we
we
did
need to
not.
be better at this.
We've had like 3 seconds.
Yeah, no, Basil really did push jumping into there, into the hole.
Oh, this is gonna get me
Uh,
killed.
That is a 3.
Okay, give me 1 second so I can do this.
As the battle starts to begin, Gremor's just gonna be like, "All right, Sicarius, if you love us, protect us, okay, bud?"
Ignore that.
Stand in front.
Sicarius.
I got a 5.
5.
I'm a lover, not a fighter.
Okay, you're banned. Let's kick him out now.
Oksana.
8.
Gremor.
I also got an 8.
V.
Well, I got it first.
That's 5, and you'll all be really sad to know that I used all
Basil.
my bardic inspirations.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Basil.
Shame.
3 for me.
Oh, jeez.
Oksana, did I tell you to take 4 points of piercing damage?
3.
3 points of... Yeah, that one.
You mean 5?
Yeah.
5? That's
Sorry, I meant to say 23. My bad. That's...
Oh,
Oksana is unconscious.
Don't worry. I know how to revive you.
Jesus.
Oh,
Nobody. If I go down, nobody let him near me.
healer! I'll try and save you first, okay?
Now, storming
Coup de
out
grace.
of the bushes, Oksana, you feel the pierce of the arrow stick into your back, just above your shoulder blade. At first, you feel the sharp pain overtake you. However, the immense roar of battle once again approaching you gives you a certain revigoration. You, my friend, have been inspired. Reaching up, you snap the arrow off, tossing it to the ground. As you turn around, now facing the opponents directly, you do take note of 4 individuals that seem to be rushing towards you all through the brush. You can see a large individual holding a giant war axe in his hands. You can hear him screaming as he pounds the pavement underneath in heavy armor set. You can see just flanking him on either side 2 archers that seem to be following with short bows directly behind. While the armor does look a little bit lighter than that of the individual leading the charge, you do see that it is of the same color and styling. And lastly, behind them, following at a slower pace, an individual that has more of a robe type attire on them. You can see the same symbolism that is on the other 2 pieces. What looks like to be a panther that they wore as an emblem with on their chests. You can also see the individual now holding a staff with what looks to be a large gemstone, uncut and unpolished at the very top. As the brute runs forward towards you, he's going to raise up his large war axe and attempt to crush down upon you. However, seeing them come full force towards you, you're able to get your hand axes out just in time, crossing it up in the air. The war axe hits you directly in the center of the two outstretched axes, as you're easily able to parry it away.
Also, hello, Raiders.
Oh, hey, Raiders. Good to see you. Just in time for some combat. Good times. The 2 archers now holding position for a moment as they go down on one knee to steady their shot, both of them drawing their bows back. The first releases towards you, Sicarius. The smaller arrow seems to scorch through the air, and as it does, you feel a sharp pain hit you directly in your side stomach, right in the abdomen. You take 4 points of piercing damage. The second pulling back and now aiming at Gremor. However, Gremor, seeing these individuals come and knowing your nimbleness, you're able to easily dodge out of the way as the flying arrow goes strictly past you at this point. The individual at the back now raising their staff high into the air. You watch as 3 seemingly almost snake-like bolts of energy, a wildish orange that resembles that of flames, spurts out as it lunges forward towards V, Oksana, and Basil.
Don't like that.
Just as it's about to approach you all, they dip down into the ground, almost like that of burrowing badgers, disappearing for a moment as it comes back up. Bursting into the air, it hits you directly, each of you directly in the chest. Each of you taking 5 points of fire damage.
All right. Dave's going to kill us.
Yeah.
Yep, I think he's tired of our shit.
Yep. I'm over this campaign. We're starting a 4E one.
All right.
So that was everybody 5 points?
Sorry?
Yep.
Yeah, it's 5 points.
Everybody
Five
5
fire.
No, just to
Basil will go down.
Basil, Oksana, and Gremor.
Oh, okay.
Oh, not me?
Yeah.
Or sorry, V. Gremor, V, and Basil. Is that right? Am I saying this right? Or did I
wasn't
hit
a part
Oksana?
of this originally.
Then I'm completely wrong. My apologies. Oksana, V, and Basil. Those were the ones.
All right.
All right. As they continue to move forward on your position, Gremor, you were the first to spring to action. What would you like to do, my friend?
With an 8. That's so sad.
That is
I
bad.
know.
Can I rush to the side of the archers using my astral jump and line them up in such a way that they're in a 10-foot cone?
You can certainly try.
Or are they further back?
No, from where you are right now, they're roughly about 30 feet away from you.
Okay. I'm going to do that then.
Perfect.
And try to line up within a 10-foot cone of each other. And then he's just going to make a very high-pitched sort of scream. And I'm going to use Confusing Cry. So I need con saves from them.
Okay. As you all watch as Gremor once again disappears from view, all of a sudden popping up on the opposite side of the battlefield. That's going to be a 3 and a 2 for me. Also, by the way, Crimson, if you could give a shout out to Chaotic Neutral Goblin, that would be very much appreciated, my friend.
Yeah.
Both of them failing their con saves. Can you describe what exactly we see?
So you sort of see Gremor sort of like apparate to the side of them, and as they look over, just this sort of ring of like an echoey like sound-based thing that just kind of makes a fluctuating ring that goes towards them. And as it passes them, you see them like kind of reach for their ears, and they will be taking. That's not a lot. 3 points of thunder damage.
3 points of thunder damage.
However, they both have disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks until the start of my next turn.
Okay, and those were the 2 archers, just reminding me?
Those are the 2 archers. Yeah.
Okay, just wanted to make sure. So they have disadvantage. Okay, perfect. You watch as they grab onto their ears, the loud ringing within their head. One of them drops their quiver to the ground. However, both holding tightly onto their short bow. They seem to be preemptively kind of occupied at the moment. And technically speaking... Oh no, neither of them are within the range, so... Okay, I was going to say you might have sneak attack, but knowing the battlefield, no, not this time. Is there anything else you'd like to do on your turn, Gremor?
That'll be it.
Okay, Oksana, you are up. Sicarius, you're on deck.
Oksana is going to... I'm going to use my bonus action to rage.
Okay.
And I'm going to run up to the warrior right in front of me. And I'm going to attempt to make an attack with my axe. I'll see if I can, like, start to cut his head off or something. So she'll just raise her axe up and let her roar and try to take his head off.
Okay. As you push him back with your 2 hand axes, you quickly put them back down into their sheaths as you reach behind your back, pulling out your great axe. Now lunging toward him, you take a large swipe towards its neck. Go ahead and roll an attack for me, please, and thank you.
Oh, fuck me. 10 to
Give
hit.
it, Moxie.
Sorry, you said 10 to hit?
10.
Okay. As he staggers back for a moment, you hear the jangling of his armor. However, he finds his footing once more as he holds his war axe up at the same time. Both of the metal of your blades slam down to one another as sparks begin to fly out from each other side of each other. Is there anything else you'd like to do on your turn, Oksana?
Growl at him.
Okay, fair enough. Sicarius, you are up. V, you're on deck.
Okay, so I'm close to Oksana and the axe wielder. So Sicarius is going to move towards the axe wielder. Like, hey now, there's no need for violence. I sense your anger, and I'm going to try to grapple him to like just hug him and say, it's okay. Release the anger. And just try to grapple and hug him.
All right, go ahead and make a grapple attempt for me.
Please be good. Oh, 18 plus athletics. So that's going to be a 23.
You seemingly pull your arms around this brute, and your love overpowers his hatred in the moment as you continue to grasp on him harshly. He begins to squirm and try and move away, but unfortunately is unable to. You have successfully made your grapple. Is there anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
Just keep whispering in his ear. It's okay. I got you now. You can calm down. And just keep...
Go ahead and make a persuasion check for me.
Oh my
Jesus
god.
Christ. Where's the character sheet? Persuasion. Where am I? That's a +3. That's a 13, so +3, 16.
16. You feel the individual's muscles kind of relax a little bit. And you hear him whisper back to you. It's just so hard sometimes, you know?
I know. I got you.
All right, V, you're up. What would you like to do?
Oh god, roll her eyes. She'll roll her eyes, and then she will take out her sword, and she will. Who's the closest one to her?
The closest in position would definitely be the brute that Sakari is having a bro hug with at the moment. The other two archers, not too far behind him, they both seems to be shaking their heads at the moment. One of them rubbing them from the loud screech let off by Gremor. And the individual far in the back seems to be surveying the battle itself, calculating what to do next.
Is there any near Basil right now?
Near Basil? No, Basil's close to you. The only two that are on the front lines right now is Sicarius in the very front, hugging the brute. Not too far behind him is Sicarius, and then Gremor, and Basil is laying on the ground, bleeding beside you.
Oh, I missed that.
I heard that.
Yeah, I
heard
missed that
little-
the first
Basil
time
is,
too. I don't know
he's
how
lying
I
on the
missed
ground.
that. All right. Well,
Ooh, CPR moment coming up.
Oh no! Okay, we will quickly realize the risk that is happening here with Sicarius, and we will, at first level, she will cast Healing Word. It's a 60-foot range, so I'm assuming she's close enough to Basil. And she'll sort of like, if she can, position herself in front of Basil, like in between the frontliners and Basil, so that like if anyone tries to like attack him at close range, like they'd have to go through her first, kind of thing.
Okay.
So she will cast Healing Word at first level, which is only a D4 plus 3. Do I roll it or do you? I forget.
You do.
Okay.
Basil, as the world is getting blurrier all around you, your eyes start to feel heavy as you feel a coldness now overcome him. You watch as what seems like a blue-haired angel walks directly in front of you, directly at your feet. You hear a sultry voice, Basil, as a silhouette begins to move closer to you. All of a sudden you hear, ding, 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 wake up! As you feel...
Oh my god!
No, you don't have to. No,
you
we don't have to do it live. No, we don't have. God damn it!
Wake up, Basil! Wake up!
The musical notes and reverberations that come off the triangle almost become tangible to be seen for a moment as the waves now parting, flying down towards you. You feel the reverberation of the vibrations ring through your chest, and as they do, you feel a warmth now start to overtake you. How many points of healing, V?
5.
5 points of healing. Go ahead, and you're back on your feet with 5 more hit points. Congratulations, my friend.
V will then use her action to attack the closest one to her with her rapier. She'll take out her rapier, and right before she moves forward to lunge, she'll just look over her shoulder at Basil and say, "Accept the triangle. It would have been better than whatever Sicarius had planned for you."
That's true, actually.
Wow, that was way too real. As V dashes off into battle, you immediately run over to the closest to you, and as you do, you can now see the brute slightly sobbing towards Sicarius. I just don't have a friend at times.
Oh.
You got a friend right here. Just hold it
Do you want to go ahead and attack him, V?
Is there another one like not there? I feel bad because also if he has this person grappled and maybe they don't look like they want to fight anymore, I feel like she would not attack that person.
It's the powder of love.
As V runs over with her rapier, eager for battle, she kind of slides to a stop, only to take note of this moment that seems to be happening between Sicarius and the brute of the other team. A little bit of an awe moment comes over her, followed by almost a look of an annoyance following that. As you quickly kind of glance over to the other side, roughly 15 feet away from you, you can see one of the archers reaching down to pick up their quiver, first reaching for an arrow and now cocking it within the short bow that they hold.
I would like to target their wrist. And V will do a spinny, fancy move, and her blade will glint in whatever light there is, and then she will target the wrist of the person holding that.
Okay.
That's horrible. That is a 9.
A 9. As V begins to turn and twist, her rapier now out, almost like flowing like a ribbon itself, creating a beautiful, almost dance move of warfare. As she slowly approaches the archer taking note of you, kind of steps back for a moment. You watch as V kind of, in her heel, slips on a little patch of mud as she tries to slice down towards it. However, losing her balance, swings wide and misses entirely.
Shite. She'll look back to Basil and say, "Stay down. You don't have a lot of health." Whatever.
Meanwhile, Gremor's
That's
like,
weird.
nice moves there.
Oh, shut up, Gremor! Focus on what's in front of you.
All right, Basil, you
I
are
am
up.
very focused.
And Gremor, you will shortly be on deck. By the way, guys, you
Alright.
have
Oh,
2
it's
temptation dice. I just realized that.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, I'm
All
sure
right,
you just realized. That's why you told us.
Oh, I have advantage. I forgot.
That advantage is only
On
on
checks.
skill checks and saving throws.
One's coming up.
Okay, fair enough.
All right.
Basil, you're up. What would you like to do?
Okay, so as Basil sort of goes to stand up, there's this moment as he's going to sit up, realizing that he's been injured, he's been knocked back down, as V has kind of not turned her back, but like turned her back to go and fight, and told him to stay down. He looks around, and he can see everyone's fighting, and he's there, still broken, cut, disheveled from like the displacer beast, this burning attack. And as he sort of sits up, he realizes like he can't just sit idle. He can't just stay here. He can't be still. And as he does so, he normally what he would do is he would be summoning things from his spell book, but you watch as he places his hands on the ground, and without standing up, he begins to whisper something, muttering in Primordial.
Great. Not
And
suspicious at all whatsoever.
And as that happens, he is going to call upon a primordial fear. And I'm going to make that a primordial fear of drowning. The person that V that was picking up the quiver and the arrows and stuff like that, that's next to V, starts to feel this sinking sense of dread, as surrounding them is this kind of an inky shark that is swimming through the land as easily as one would swim through the sea. And it's going to chomp on them, and they need to make an int save.
Okay, fair enough. As he watches V kind of slip in front of him, whoa! As she tries to swing her sword, he gives his head a shake for a moment. Intelligence is going to be a 13. As all of this happens, he sees almost over her shoulder, off in the distance, this blacky ink-like shark, just the fin of it at this point, swimming through the ground towards him. He rubs his eyes for a moment. What's the save on that?
The save is 13, so he does make it.
Okay. As he rubs his eyes, the image becomes closer and closer to him. As it gets within range, it takes a bite towards him. However, is it half damage or is it full or no damage?
It is no damage. It terrifies him for a slight moment as it basically leaps out of the water and tries to grab hold of him. But he realizes that it's a fear inside of themselves rather than an actual shark. And it'll pass straight through him harmlessly.
Okay, fair enough. As it kind of scatters into the inky-like substance that it's truly made of, kind of splashes over top of him as it flicks down on the ground beside him, leaving a few pools that reside for a moment before disappearing altogether. Is there anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
And up. No, actually, no. I'll stay down. I'm gonna stay down. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
fair enough.
Just chill.
All right. The archer that is closest to V, now in close combat, is going to go ahead and throw down the short bow down to the side, reaching to his side, pulling out a short sword. Goes and immediately tries to attack you. What is your AC? Your AC is
14.
Ooh, yep.
Also, a reminder that was a disadvantage
Oh, right.
for the archer.
The archers are both. Well, that was a natural 20 on the second. So, as he pulls out the short sword, swinging it widely towards you, you kind of pull back for a moment, however, catch it directly on the shoulder. As it kind of cuts down through your shoulder, down to your elbow, you take... Oh, you gotta be kidding me. You take 3 points of damage.
That's fine.
Slashing damage.
Ah.
It is but a wee paper cut.
Hey, listen, those paper cuts are dangerous for bards, okay?
That's fair. That is very fair. Taking aim towards you, Gremor, the other archer now spins around wildly, pulling back his short bow as he releases. And again, you're quickly able to maneuver away from it as you kind of hide into a bush just as he releases the arrow. The seemingly caster in the back, now very unimpressed with the brute directly in front of it, slams their staff on the ground, now muttering some incantation. Sicarius, you continue to hold onto your brother at arms. However, you feel your arms being spread apart as it begins to grow larger and larger and larger.
Should have stabbed him.
More of him to love.
Oh,
Used and large.
As it grows to almost twice its size, you're no longer able to hold onto it. And as he shakes his head, he realizes the situation that he's in, again holding up his large war axe and slamming it down atop of Sicarius. That is going to be a 15.
No.
15 does not hit. Fair enough. Even just lovingly looking up at this individual, you are able to quickly move out of the way, filled with this confidence and compassion towards your opponent. You easily sidestep the large blade that now comes crashing down directly beside you.
That was not very nice of you. I thought we had the moment.
You get no response. Gremor, you're up. Oksana, you're on deck.
So from the bushes, I guess all you'll see is like the bush suddenly like a bunch of leaves just go everywhere as the astral jumps to the opposite side of V, kind of flanking that archer, and yeah, I just like biting people, man. He's gonna like jump on his back and try to take a bite out of his shoulder.
I like it.
Yeah.
All right. As you see almost like a plume of Banff smoke appear outside of the flowers, or sorry, of the bushes. Gremor once again now directly beside the individual in combat with V. As he rushes over, he gives out his best barbarian howl. Yeah, that's pretty good. As he tries to grasp onto the leg of the barbarian, as he pulls the boot leg down a little bit and attempts to take a gigantic chomp out of its ankle. Go ahead and roll some damage for me.
Just a point of, I said the archer that V was in combat with.
Yeah.
That's who he was going for, not the bar. Okay.
Did I? Sorry, I thought I said archer. My bad. Either way, take.
All right, I'm gonna roll.
Attack his ankles.
That is a 17.
A 17. As you pull free the skin, you reach back, opening this massive jaw, almost cartoonish in a moment. As you bite down directly, he gives out a loud scream as you clearly draw a little bit of blood. Go ahead and roll some damage for me.
So that is 6 points of bite damage.
Bite damage. I like it. All right, that's going... Sorry, is there anything else you want to do on your turn?
Sneak attack because I'm flanking, right?
Sneak attack also because he's engaged. So, yeah, absolutely.
8 points of sneak attack damage.
8 points of sneak attack damage. Perfect. Okay. He begins to hop up and down as he grabs onto his leg. He mutters some curses under his breath. God damn, the stupid fucking Babbitt!
Just looks up and throws a middle finger up.
Fair enough. Is there anything else you want to do on your turn, Gremor?
No, that's it.
All right, Oksana, you're up. What would you like to do?
Having missed the first attack, okay, what I want to do is I want to take the top of the axe almost with the blade over here, holding it under the hilt, and I want to push forward into his neck, but at the same time, I want to see if I can push him backwards and knock him prone, hopefully into the spellcaster.
The spellcaster's a ways away. It's
Okay.
at least about 20 yards away.
All right.
Cool idea, though.
I respect the idea, and if he was a little bit closer, absolutely, I would have let it happen. Either
So I
way.
want to charge him, basically attack and then charge him and see if I can knock him prone.
Okay, he is a little bit taller, so as you run forward, you leap in the air a little bit. You're talking about the brute, right?
Yeah, is he taller than me?
Oh yeah,
He was enlarged.
he was
Well, I
enlarged,
can't-
so he's
can't
he's
grapple
roughly
anymore. He's
kind of
big
like
grapple.
he's somewhere between 14 and 15 feet tall
I thought
now.
the archer. I thought the one that Sicarius was grappling was an archer. I misunderstood.
No, that was
I didn't
the-
realize that he was enlarged.
Yeah,
No,
sorry,
the
it
brute
is
that
it
was
is
in
the
front of
brute.
you
Yeah.
is who I did.
Okay, can I retcon then? Because just I feel like
Sure,
that doesn't make
do
sense
whatever
to
you
try
want.
to grapple someone that's massive that way. My mistake.
Totally no problem.
so-
Go ahead and do your thing.
I'm just gonna take 2 massive hacks at either of his sides, and she's gonna roar as she does it, and you hear like a bear's roar reverberate through the forest with her voice.
Okay.
Damn.
As you let out this massive roar, you slash wildly towards the creature, almost as recklessly as you possibly can.
All right. That's gonna hit. I think that's gonna be 23 to hit.
23 to hit. 23 absolutely hits. Go ahead and roll some damage for me.
Okay, so that is gonna be 7 for the first. The next one is gonna be 15 to hit.
Yes, it does hit.
Nice. And that is gonna be a little bit better. 9 points.
Okay. As you wildly rush towards it, bellowing out this guttural roar, with your axe high in the air, you come slashing down atop his thigh. You watch as it pierces down directly in, splitting open the skin directly under any armor that it has. You cut almost halfway through at that point, only to rip the axe out again. A visceral look on your face as you slam down with your second attack. It cuts even further in. The brute now kind of wavering back and forth as you've almost cut directly through its leg altogether. Is there anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
Oh, she's okay.
Gremor, go ahead
Tough
and
over.
make a perception check for me with advantage.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Bobby, you're muted.
I said, you got it, bud. I rolled a 3 and a 1.
A 3 and a 1. Okay.
that?
Sicarius, you're up. What would you like to do?
Oh no!
So after seeing the big man try to crush him with his axe, and then Oksana coming to his rescue. Oh, Oksana, I didn't know you cared. After he, so he gives a gleaming look to Oksana. We can do this together. And so I'll pull my greatsword and take a swing. At the barbarian or whatever it is.
All right. With a glow on your cheeks, unsheathing your sword, you slash towards the brute.
17 to hit.
17 absolutely hits. Go ahead and roll some damage for me.
It's a 10 plus 3, so 13.
13 points of damage. Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
We got this together. Oksana, you and me.
Don't talk to me, I'm busy.
Sicarius, is there anything else you'd like to do on your turn? Oh, great, Oksana, you offended him. Wow. Well, if he's going to hold his action, we'll figure out when he comes back. You watch as his sword now pierces into the side of the large brute. You hear a loud moan reverberate out from the individual. You can see he's bleeding very badly at this point. V, you're up. What would you like to do? Basil, you're on deck.
V will sort of put a psychic filter on whatever is happening with Sicarius and Oksana over there. And V will just take your sword and she'll sort of do like a fancy thing around her head and come around right to attack, like, I guess, the neck region of the archer in front of her. That's better. That's a dirty 20 to hit.
Dirty
Swing!
20 absolutely hits. As you continue to whip your sword around, catching as much of the glimmer as possible, slicing down towards your foe. Go ahead and roll some damage for me.
It's 12 points of damage.
Wow, 12 points. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I rolled a 7 on my D8.
Damn. Okay. Ooh. Is there anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
Nope. Just stand majestically.
Okay. As you pierce into the abdomen of your enemy, he also lets out a great howl as he kind of holds onto your sword in position, glaring at you from underneath his visor. Basil, you're up. What would you like to do?
All right. So the brute, the archer, and the caster are, like, where in relation to, like, distance-wise from Basil?
So the closest one to you would either be the brute, who's roughly, give or take, about 20 yards away from you right now. The archer that V is engaged with is roughly about 35. The other roughly about 35 as well. The caster being about 50.
Okay. I'm going to go for the brute then. And Basil is going to redirect that shark. It sort of changes its form a little bit as it dives back into the ground. As this shadow form moves and swims towards the brute, and I'm going to use my living shadow ability on him.
Okay.
It'll only hit him because no one else is in range, but he'll need to make me a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw. That is going to be a 14.
That is going to fail.
Okay.
So he takes. Ooh, max damage. That is 8 points of damage. Oh, sorry, 9 points of damage. Psychic damage.
Okay.
And is frightened.
Okay. Fair enough. You watch as the brute, now beginning to look around, panic, actually drops his war axe as he begins to stagger backwards. The ground now shaking underneath each step that he takes backwards. Is there anything else you'd like to do on your turn, Basil?
Oh yeah, Basil looks to him and doubles down on his fear. As a bonus action, I'm going to start to consume that fear, but unlike the ones that I've been using on Gremor, which is like the removal of fear, this one's almost like stoking a flame to feed on it.
Okay.
And increasing that temperature.
Fair enough.
It doesn't do anything special. It's just I don't wish to remove the fear.
Okay, fair enough. As you all can see at this point, as the fear now almost begins to pull off of the individual like a black smoke that seems to be lurching and twisting around each of you towards Basil. Looking back, you now see him sucking it in like taking a large haul from a wooden pipe. Is there anything else you'd like to do on your turn, Basil?
No, that's it. And I heal 4 hit points.
Okay, fair enough.
Move action, I'll stand up at this point. But
Okay.
like slowly.
As you start to stand, you take note of a sound of ruffling bushes just off to the left side of you. You hear it getting louder and louder, like trampling on the ground beyond the bushes. A moment later, you see 2 massive black bears come flying out of the woodwork, the first grappling onto the brute mid-air, now tearing into its throat, the other now jumping onto the archer that Gremor was previously engaged with. As it jumps over top, leaning over top of him, begins to grab onto its chest and whip it around, mawing the individual in front. You hear the screams from both of them echo and reverberate out throughout the entire forest. The other archer and caster now turning and beginning to flee. V, you get an opportunity attack if you want to take it on the other archer.
Oh yeah, I will. We'll
Do I
turn
too?
around and
Mhm.
fine. Ooh, can we
Sorry,
do
go
a
ahead.
combined? Can we do
Let's
a
do a
combined?
combo.
Yeah.
Yeah. You go first and I'll add on to it.
Oh, okay. Well, V will take her sword, but on the way up, she will also grab Gremor with her other hand, and she'll fling around in a circle with her sword and Gremor.
Absolutely.
All right.
Gremor will just like
Oh my
poke
god!
him in the eye with his peg leg.
I rolled a nat one.
Perfect. As you pick Gremor up, having this amazing idea for inspiration. Now, I will say no, because Gremor's taking a secondary action. You begin to whip him around. Unfortunately, the moisture within the air, it's too slippery at this point as you feel the ankles of Gremor completely leave your grasp as it flies towards the archer. As you continue to pick up momentum, Gremor, you find yourself moving closer and closer now within range of the fleeing archer. Go ahead and make an attack roll for me.
It's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20 absolutely hits as your peg leg hits him in the back of the head. Go ahead and roll some damage for me.
I'm gonna go for knocking unconscious, by the way, if this is possible.
Sure.
That's going to be 9 points. No, wait, that's with my unarmed strike. 7 points for a melee attack.
7 points for a melee attack. Dear Lord. All right. It connects with the back of the brute's head and pushes him forward, allowing him to stumble a little bit, but easily able to get back up and continue to run into the bushes. Both now fully disappearing into the background of the large, overgrown forest.
Yeah, you better run. By the way, I thought I gotta say, those bears coming out of nowhere was the most metal shit I've ever seen in my life.
Yes, I think this is my family.
As
You're not sure? And he runs.
as Gremor runs off and hides, you all take note of the bears now finishing off the 2 enemies in front of them. You see a fair amount of blood now soaking the ground, and while it's not necessarily red, almost like a cornstarch black of pooling of blood all around them.
I learned from the best.
As Oksana begins to walk over to the 2 bears, they both turn and look towards Oksana. You watch as both of them now stand up on their hind legs, showing both their massive jaws towards you, before suddenly they begin to change, as both begin to shrink down, their fur now disappearing, and leaving 2 warriors standing in front of you. We learned from the best. And as the moment fades from view, Tristan. Watching your friends dive into the portal directly in front of you, You take a moment to ponder whether or not you should be joining them. However, a brush upon your ankle, you look down to see the strange orange glow of the fur of Oji. As it purrs up against your leg, you're immediately reminded of the task at hand. What would you like to do?
I will pick up the book and don't open it. Just put it in the bag.
Okay. As you place the book into your bag, you kind of survey the kitchen once more. I'm assuming you're moving onward?
Yeah, I will like pet the cats, and then I will make my way around the house trying to find some clues about what could have happened.
Okay. You take some time, roughly about half an hour, to look around the house proper. Everything seems to be in order. No signs of struggle, no signs of forced entry. To the best of your knowledge, whatever happened to Sarah, Basil's mother, didn't happen here.
Oh, she went somewhere. God, I don't remember where she went. She went
begin
to one of the
to
temple or something.
You begin to think back to what Oksana had said. The name Amber, Uman, Umbros suddenly hits. You remember someone mentioning the Church of Umbros.
Yes, like a shrine or something. Yeah. So I will get out of the house and try to find my way to the church, the shrine.
Okay.
To the high place.
Give me a general persuasion check.
Persuasion. Okay.
Making my way on down to the church. Gonna go solve a B&E.
And I miss you.
That's the 15 plus. Come on. Where am I? There. Persuasion. That's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. As you begin to canvass the streets, there's not many people out at this late hour. However, you do come across a set of guards. As you approach, you begin to make small talk with them at first, putting them a little bit at ease. You then ask for directions towards the Church of Umbros, who they explain is not too far, just a few blocks away. After a little bit of conversing, they give you exact directions on how to get to the church proper.
I will make my way there.
Okay. As you approach down a streetway, you take note of the very similar houses and small shops that seem to canvass the entire area, save for one building. You see a building much larger and more well-kept than the rest. It looks very clean and polished. Being the largest building on the block, you take a note of how well carved some of the pieces are. You immediately recognize this as what you would assume to be the church. And while visually divine, it also seems slightly foreboding in the pale moonlight.
Okay, I will make my way to the main entrance and try to see if it's open.
Okay. Walking up to the double door entrance, you climb a small set of stairs. Reaching forward, you push the door open slightly to check if it is locked. And as your arm extends, there doesn't seem to be any lock on it at all. As you continue to move inward, you take note of the majesty of the interior. Large pews rests in front of an altar. You can see off to the side a number of candle vigils that are set up in a small alcove. You also take note of a robed individual who seems to be lighting candles around the vigils.
Just a quick question. Is it beginning of the night or end of the night? What time is it roughly?
It's been roughly about 2 hours since sunset.
Okay. I would slowly make my way inside the church, just looking around, making no noise, trying maybe at some point finding a seat on. I'm guessing there is a bench. There are benches or something like that.
Yeah, there's generally pews in front. Small, long benches that a number of individuals can sit. Very similar to what you would see in kind of a modern Christian church.
All right. So I would sit on one somewhere and take a look around just to try to understand the layout of the place.
You do see a number of stained glass windows that seem to line the exterior the interior of the walls. You take note of each one of the depictions on each. There seems to be some of an individual in the same robes, or at least same colored robes as the individual you see closer to the back towards the candle vigils. You can see them helping an individual up. As you continue on down, looking at each one of the six stained glass windows, various depictions of this individual assisting in some way, shape, or form.
Would I know this individual?
You would assume this would be a depiction of the head or leader of said church. No face or facial features on the stained glass window itself.
Okay. Just a quick question, because there are no more gods here, right? So this is not a regular church, I'm guessing?
You would know from your history that there are no gods at this point, all being killed or vanished many, many years before your time. However, you would recognize one of the saints, patron individuals who have taken the mantle of each one of the domains, each one of them having a church here of relatively high wealth and influence.
And you said there was one person here lighting the candle, right?
Yes. As you continue to look around, you hear a small blowing of wind. Looking back towards the individual, they rest a small wick down beside them. As they begin to turn and take note of you. Seemingly a bit surprised at first, you see a glance of a smile grace their face. taking note of the individual now, you see that it is a male, completely furred individual. What you would recognize as a tabaxi. A beautiful white leopard fur pattern. They wear a long maroon robe and a large talisman around their neck. The emblem seems to be made of a shimmering platinum with what looks like a knight's sword pointed downward from the center.
Okay. I will stand up and make my way to the tabaxi.
Okay. As you do, the individual holds their hands out in front of you. Welcome, wayward traveler, to the Church of Saint Umbros. Do you come seeking to put your life in order?
I was coming here to actually find one of my friends. But it seems everybody left at this hour.
Yes, there's no one else other than myself in the church at this time. I am the night caregiver, but our church is always open to the people. Please, come join me. As he goes and walks down, sitting at one of the pews next to you. Tell me your sorrows and your problems, traveler.
I came here to see one of my friends. Fortunately, she has gone. I was told she came here often, and I was hoping you might help me in finding out some information about where I could find her.
We have many individuals that come and go. Could you describe her, or do you have a name, perhaps?
The last name is Thorn. And was there any picture in the house of Basil's mother?
There would have been.
Or anything like that? So I would give the description of one of the picture I would have seen.
That does sound familiar. But I can't be sure. There was a woman that came a few weeks ago, based on the description that you give. She was looking for a blessing from Saint Umbros after her son went missing. Unfortunately, she didn't have the means to pay for such a blessing. Truly a sad thing. I can only pray that her house finds order.
When people are in search of a blessing and don't have the means to get it here, where would one turn to get help if you or Ambrose cannot?
Of course, Ambrose can offer many, many blessings, for great he is, bringing order to all those around. However, there is a remuneration. If one was unable to have the wherewithal to give a proper donation to the church, of course, I would assume they would go to one of the lesser churches?
And where would one of your church tell people to go for such a blessing?
Well, I mean, obviously, the Church of Ambrose, Saint Ambrose himself, is clearly the most important, most powerful there is. Any other church would be below us.
I understand that. There's something that just hits me when I look around your church. I look at all those nice tinted glasses you have
Yes. Mhm.
around it. I think that's the Empress helping people.
That is a... The individual you see is more of a representation of the various saints that have passed through these doors. Of course, the Saint of Order is willing to help any at any time, as long as they have the wherewithal.
Yeah. It's crazy how we don't picture the fact that people have to pay money to get blessed.
Not pay
on the depiction of
necessarily.
your church.
It's more of a
It's
donation.
a donation.
A donation for the
Yeah.
betterment of all. If that happens to be the betterment of the church at the same time, well, I'm sure you can understand. You're a rational man, it seems.
And how much is a good donation worth for this church?
Well, obviously, it depends on what the blessing type that you would need, but generally, a proper donation would run the bill of, say, 20 gold pieces.
20 gold pieces.
Mere chump change
And what
for
if the
those
blessing
who
is
have
not?
well means.
And what about if the blessing is not adequate?
Of course, the blessing will always be adequate. Even at times where the outcome might not be as expected. Umbros ensures that no matter the outcome, it will bring order, regardless of if it's what you wanted or not. So is the word of Umbros. Can be mysterious in ways, but always correct.
So I will get some money out and start to count. And I will say, so what information can you give me regarding the lady in question? And I start putting 20 gold on the side in my hand.
Well, of course, I'm happy to take the donation as he quickly sweeps it up and puts it into a small coin purse coin pouch off to the side. But I have given you all the information that I have. However, if you would like a blessing from Umbros, you wouldn't need much more, and you could return in the morning with the remaining amount.
Oh, that guy's dead.
I will take his hand in my hand and I will say, should I call you father or brother?
No, brother is just fine. I am Brother Mali.
And I will hold his hand as hard as I can.
Okay.
Is he trying to pull away?
No, he kind of looks at you strangely.
And I will say, look into my eyes, for though you see your future. Look into my eyes, for though you will see your death. Give me the information I seek, or I will leech the life away from you.
Make an intimidation
And I
check
will-
for me.
Move him to number one sus spot in the party. I don't know what does.
That's 5.
A 5. He looks in
Yeah.
your eyes for a moment before pulling his hand back sharply. I believe our time is up here. Perhaps you should go.
I think we have just started, and I will materialize my thighs in my hand.
He begins to walk backward. We are civilized people here. I have told you everything that I know. You would attack a religious man in his home church?
I will attack a man who takes advantage of people, takes the money from them, and do not give them anything. This I would do, because I'm pretty sure you're looking at you would be bad for me to put you into the ground.
Brother Mali begins to look back and forth drastically, looking for anyone to assist. At that moment, he begins to yell for help at the loud top of his lungs.
I will try to catch inflict wound. Oh, no. You know what? I will cast darkness.
Okay.
Shit.
As darkness begins to fill the space all around you, you see the look of terror now overtaking him. He continues to yell as loud as possible. You can hear his voice now becoming raspy at this point.
And I will say, I see you. And I will hit him with my scythe.
Okay, go ahead and make an attack roll for me.
Should we kill an NPCs in the city now?
What's this wee nonsense?
Oh my god, I don't know what I have. That's 16.
16 absolutely hits. Go ahead and roll some damage for me.
I will hold it back a bit because I don't want to kill him. So that's 5 points of damage.
5 points of damage as you slice down directly in front of him. You watch as your scythe blade carves down a large line on his chest. You watch as the robe itself kind of pulls itself open, a white draped undershirt underneath, and you see tricklets of blood now beginning to stain the outside of the church. He falls back to his knees. Please, I've told you everything that I know.
I will lean on top of him. I know you have. I will take the money back and walk out of the darkness.
Are you just taking the pouch itself or just your money?
I'll take the pouch.
Okay, fair enough. As you take the satchel, you recognize how heavy it is in your hand. As you go ahead and stow it away in one of your pockets, you turn and exit the church. You hear him continuing to yell for the guards as you leave. As you walk out onto the city streets again, you look at the buildings all around, glancing up and down the streets, unsure exactly where to go next. And out of the corner of your eye, you notice something strange. Just a flicker for a moment, but the static air almost becomes fluid for a moment. Almost like a pebble being dropped in water. You turn to investigate when you feel the strong grasp around your chest and feel a cold blade now pressed up against your neck. You hear a female voice from the assailant behind you. Why do you seek the librarian? And that's where we're going to take a short rest for the evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Damn.
With
Why
that
is my
said,
mom sketchy now?
everybody's sketchy in this campaign, okay? You all did it to yourself. You all did it to yourself. With that said, we do take some questions on chat. For those of you who came in with the raid, if you're still here, thank you so much for joining us for the evening. Consider following. It's free and it helps us out a whole bunch. As always, on our break, we do take a few questions during the break. So if you have any questions about Careful Cantrip, myself, the player's life, the universe, or anything inside of it, by all means, throw them down into chat. We'll do our very best to answer them all when we get back. But until that time comes, ladies and gentlemen, go get your apple juice, your orange juice, and most importantly, your sus juice. And stick around, because you're absolutely not going to want to miss the second half. We'll see y'all real soon, guys. And welcome back, everyone. We did have a couple questions on our chat, as we typically do. First and foremost, going to Gremor. Gremor, have you gotten over your fear/hatred of cats, or has it only grown?
I think after, spoilers for people who didn't watch last week, after his encounter fighting Zuzu and Delilah, he's more confident around cats, but that doesn't mean he's trusting cats now.
Okay.
He knows that the real cats are still out there, and that,
Fair enough. Fair enough.
So.
Tristan, did you find a nice box? I don't know what that means.
Is it to put the in and bury it? No, not yet.
All right, fair enough. Sicarius, how much does your IRL wife hate chat for edging you on with the luscious wig, or is it growing on her?
Yeah, she doesn't like it one bit.
Question for Reyna. More polls? No. No
Yes.
more polls, chat.
Yes.
No more polls. You guys are
They're
out of
good.
control this episode.
Those are good pulls.
Oh. Bobby, are you glad you did not have to face your other worst fear, Nicolas Cage?
Any day I can avoid those sort of things. It's a good day. So
I don't know. Nicola Cage, she's always right here. I could whip her out at any moment.
I'd prefer you didn't. Next question, please.
Let's not talk about whipping things out during the show. It's Christian Minecraft channel, guys. Jesus Christ.
I mean, depending on how long you keep Sicarius in this state, we never know.
No,
I will
no.
ban you from our own channel, Rob. I swear. Toe the line, my
blame
friend.
the
Toe
DM.
the line.
I have no control, man. It is what it is.
All
It's
right,
what my character would do.
Where is Rob's mute button? Let's see. This and oh, there we go! Yay! No more Rob. Sorry, guys. Rob is left.
How rude.
DM's worst fear: the Susie voice. Not wrong. Not wrong at all. All right. With that said, let's go ahead and hop back into tonight's episode. Feeling the winds of the forest upon your sweat-soaked skin. Now standing directly in front of Oksana, you see two individuals. One seems to be a male Goliath, standing roughly 7.5 feet tall, a young man. His long hair seems tied up in a bun with a very smooth, square jawline. Leather shoulder pads and his bare chest. You can see his chiseled muscles and chest completely hairless. A leather belt that rides up to the bottom of his ribcage. In the center is a circle emblem with a bear head symbol. Beside him stands a female Goliath, standing a little bit shorter than the other. A large leather tunic that stretches down to her knees with high boots covering the rest of her legs and feet. A small belt wrapped around her waist with 2 hand axes strapped to the sides. She stands there quietly, stoically, observing you all. The young man looks to you all. You don't seem around from these parts. He looks directly at Oksana. And you look familiar. Perhaps you are from the city forest?
Yes, this place looks familiar to me too. I think it is my home.
Your home? Strange.
Yes. The forest around the city. This is where I am from.
So you are not from the city forest?
I'm just as confused if that helps.
I am from the forest that is around Dog's Breath, the city gates just outside.
Outside of the city gates, yes, but not from the city forest.
I suppose not.
You are not from here, my friend. What tribe do you belong to?
I am not from a tribe.
Gives you a bit of a cockeye at that comment. Well, nonetheless, enemies of ours are friends of ours. Or wait.
Yes.
Friends
She
of
doesn't even catch
ours
the mistake.
are enemies of ours.
What the fuck?
I know what you mean, my friend. Thank you.
Yes.
We appreciate your help. What is your name?
My name is Jarsa, and this is my sister, Nimia.
Charsa, Nimia.
We thank you all for assisting in protecting our lands.
It's no problem. You have beautiful home. My name is Oksana. It's pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you as well, Oksana. What brings you out
Please.
to our forest so far away from the city?
Well, we opened a book, and now we have come here. Basil, do you want to chime in? You may be able to explain better. Please, my friends, meet my friends.
I have a question for the DM here. Do people from here know about the, I guess, meta?
No.
Okay.
From what you're seeing so far, between Gremor's expedition and now this, you can't make heads or tails of exactly what's happening.
Okay. We are travelers from a distant land, and we are grateful that we were able to help drive off invaders from your lands. We seek others from our same homestead so that we may return with them. A man bearing very similar standing to this gentleman here in particular, a brother, fellow kin, that we wish to return. Have you seen another as he is?
He as was. You use many big words.
Oh no,
Damn
they're
it.
just like Oksana.
We are looking for a guy that looks like him, but acts like less creepy, and will probably touch you less.
Oksana, what do you mean by creepy? There is nothing
is-
creepy without wanting to share emotions with people. I mean, seriously, you need to loosen up. And I try to get closer to you again.
She'll hold his face. This is what I'm talking about.
And you want to find this person.
Well, this one we found, unfortunately. I'm looking for ones like him.
Jesus Christ.
I don't understand.
Oh,
But
It's like a copy, like different copies of the same guy.
Please, we all know you just want more of me.
oh,
I
boy.
get it.
I'm gonna squeeze his face a little. Are you kissing my hand?
If
I
you
backhand
squeeze it,
him.
it's making me
I'm gonna-
pucker.
If you kiss my hand, she's gonna be like, "Oh," and then she'll slap him.
all right.
Flick him
Please,
off her like
there
a
are
fly.
too many people around.
Oh, Jesus.
I don't know why you'd want many copies of him. However,
Yeah, but
I am
The more,
unaware
the
of
merrier.
this face, and he points to Sicarius. But there might be someone who knows more of these things than I. Many
Tell
of
me.
you seem hurt as well. You come back to camp with us. We will ask the chief, my father, to see if he knows
Yes.
more of these things.
It sounds good to me.
You
My
just hear,
friends.
you hear from the bushes. Are we still in danger? Just from the
Bush,
bushes.
no, you're no longer in danger, Bush. We will protect forest, including small shrub.
Oh, thank God! And he pulls out. But my name is Greenmore. It's not Bush.
Okay, Gremor
Just a
Bush.
quick word before we go. And Basil will sort of very quietly speak to the group and not to these individuals. Listen, these people here, I need you to understand they're not real. They're not. I mean, they're real, but they're not. They're simulacra. They're damn it, they're stories given form.
I don't understand.
story.
When it is an evil cat, it is real and painful. When it is nice friend, it's not real. What is happening?
No. The cat is real, but just like the cat was telling Gremor's story, these individuals aren't real. They're telling a story, and that story will be real. The question is we don't know what that story is. Does anyone recognize this what's happening? I don't want to make assumptions, and he says that just staring at Oksana.
They look like
I don't
my
want to.
family, and I am from a forest. I don't know. I
Alright.
don't recognize the people, but I thought when they were bears, I thought that they might be my brother and sister bear. But they said they don't know me.
I bet this is V's story.
But
I
you
bet
don't
it's going to
look
take a
furry.
turn into pirate territory very soon.
Yeah, pirate bears. Oh my god, the Berenstein bears just on a ship. That's V's whole backstory. And I've cracked it.
I knew it.
This is why she's so cagey about it with Oksana. Ah.
and are actually related. We're just hiding it. It's the big reveal at the end of the campaign.
Yeah, sister bear turned human. Done. Canon. Print it.
Oh no,
Oh
one
my
of those
God.
rocks
Scratching his
is
head.
above our heads.
We broke
Hey
him.
guys, quick, he's gonna kill us.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
I think
I
if
think
you
we need to
can
follow
see,
Oksana's lead.
I have bear tattoos. I am bear totem, so I think if we are seeing bears, it is probably for me.
Okay, in which case we need to follow Oksana's lead. And if you see something out of the ordinary, only you'll be able to warn us.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, be our protector. Show us the way.
Don't let him walk anywhere near me, please.
As
will
you
walk at
turn,
the back of the party.
it's
It's a great view.
Jesus Christ.
Oh.
Zacharias. Let's,
Zacharias, why don't you come walk between Basil and I, and we'll have a little
Even
chat
better.
about... Okay.
Someone put a blindfold on him or something. Muzzle him. Shut him up.
As you all turn
I've
back
used all my-
towards the two individuals, Jarsa and Nimia, you hear them kind of bickering between the two of each other. Nimia finally speaking. We cannot bring them back to the camp. But they are friends. They helped us. We know with the raiding parties that are happening lately, we can take all the help that we need. Father is not going to like this. Father will like this. Ah, friends! We journey onward now, yes?
Yes, we will follow.
You turn and begin to follow in the direction that the two individuals lead you in. You head deeper and deeper into the thickets of the forest. Tristan. You hear the voice repeat as the blade comes snugger to your throat. Speak up. What is it you want with the librarian?
We have a friend in common. And as I came to see her and not seeing her, I came looking.
You feel yourself now being pulled backwards. Frantically looking around, you see yourself being pulled into a back alley. A moment later, you feel a sharp tug as you're turned around sharply and pushed up against the wall, the dagger now thrusting towards your face. You now see the individual standing in front of you. How do I... this. Okay. In front of you, you see a young female tiefling, probably in her late teens to early 20s. She stands roughly about 5'4" with a slim build. Her skin a pale lilac color. She has two horns pushing straight back from the front of her crown, with twists going upwards like sickles on the end. A number of trinkets adorn to each of the horn, with the left horn having what looks like a spider web made of thread wrapped around the curvature of each of the horn's end. Her hair a blackish color with hints of deep purple, separated in two thick braids that rest in front of her on either side of her neck. She wears a sleeveless but muted green shirt covered by another sleeveless, muted, plum-colored cloak that hangs down to about her thighs. You see a light olive green skirt tightened around the waist by a brown leather belt. Attached to the belt, a small side bag on the right and what looks like a dagger sheath on the left. She holds you back up against the wall as she continues to wave the dagger in your face. Speak up. What do you know of the librarian, Sarah? You say you have someone in common.
She was looking for a son. I know where her son is. That's what she to you. You seem worried.
She raises an eyebrow as you say this, as she glances back down the alley. And is the son here with us?
Sort of. It's complicated.
She relaxes a little bit, pulling the dagger away as she resheaths it. What do you mean?
One of our friends got in trouble. He went after him with the rest of the party. I stayed here and I said I would look for his mother. Now, what is she to you? You seem worried about her.
She walks back a little bit before resting on a crate, folding her arms. She's a small piece in a bigger puzzle. Do you have any information on where she went?
The only information I have is the church I came out of. But I think you already knew that, as you're waiting for me there.
Then you're useless to me, as she turns and begins to walk back down the alley. You hesitate for a moment, but thinking in your own mind that this could be the only potential lead that you have. Do you allow her to walk away, or do you engage?
I think we would be better off working together. We have more chance to cover ground if we're two. We would be wasting less time.
She stops in her tracks and without looking around lets out a loud sigh. spinning around quickly, arms still crossed. And why is it that I should trust you?
I'm not asking you to trust me. I'm just asking you to help me find my friend's mother. Trust will come along the way or it won't. That's another story. That's not something we need to discuss here.
Make a persuasion check with advantage.
Persuasion. That's a 19.
19. She looks down to the side for a few moments, before slowly glancing back up at you. A bit of a scowl on her face, but you get the impression that that's normal for her. She approaches you quickly before thrusting her hand out in front of her. Tinsley.
Tristan.
The family's bond is something important. I realize that.
It is.
Well, hurry up then. And she immediately turns and begins to walk down the alley.
I will follow.
Okay. As the two of you disappear in the dark of the night, the rest of you travel for roughly about 20 minutes. It's very difficult to make out exactly which way you're going, as there doesn't seem to be any trails directly in front of you. You're simply trusting the two guides, bringing you wherever they're taking you within the forest. That's when the forest starts to open up. And while be it primitive, you see a very well-manufactured small town in front of you. And utilizing a lot of nature's capacity, you find the buildings odd. It seems that the foliage and trees have grown in the perfect areas. 4 posts in and around the area of each one of the homes seemingly have naturally grown. The buildings themselves have been made into these large trees themselves. As you continue to walk forward, you see Jarsa waving at a few people, many of them waving back, yelling pleasantries. You see an open lot as 2 Goliaths mutter an incantation, and as they do, you watch as 4 more trees grow instantly into large, more mature trees. They begin to wave their hands in and around the area as some of the foliage continues to grow, wrapping itself around the building, almost creating it from magic itself. You see many of the common individuals that you would see within a small town. A small tannery off to the side where an individual skins a deer. Another side, you see a Fletcher who seems to be putting feathers on the back of arrows. And as you continue to walk through the town, you eventually make your way to a very large longhouse. Its wood dark, very similar to the bark of the spruce that centers around this forest. You see plumes of smoke exiting a large chimney. Jarsa walks you up to the front door as he turns back to you all. He gives a large smile. Home sweet home, yes?
This is nice place.
Yeah, it's a lot better from where we were coming from.
It is a very lovely home.
It is the best of homes. As he throws open the doorways, he and Nimia begin to advance forward. As you all fall closely behind, you find yourself in a large greeting room. On the opposite side of the room, you can see a number of fire pits that line the hallway leading up to what looks like a large wooden throne. Very primal in nature. Beside the throne, you see a large chest with a padlock on it. And seated atop the throne itself, a large, bulky man. He has a dark olive complexion. Top of his head completely bald, however, long, flowing, beautiful hair that stretches down to about his shoulders. You can see from here he wears a large leather loincloth that hangs down from his waist, with what looks like a fur trim around the triangular flap that sits in front. Around his otherwise bare chest, a large necklace of what looks like bleached skulls. Mostly creatures. Some seem to be painted and decorated with gemstones. Jarsa throws his hands open. Father, we have done well this day. And we bring friends. The chieftain perks up in his seat. Then you have done well, Jarsa. Proud of you I am, my son. And to those who have helped, my son and daughter, many thanks to all of you. I am Chief Sigor, ruler of said Guardians of Red Rock.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
Hello, yes. It's very nice to meet you, Chief.
Do like a bow. Kind of out of fear more than anything.
He smirks
I'll
and gives
do
a
it.
bellowing laugh. Small one. All creatures are welcome here. No one kneels. You should kneel for no one.
Oh, okay. Oh, thanks. I appreciate that. I'll stand back up.
I'll ready an action to prevent Sicarius from hugging the chieftain.
And how are you
I think
doing
he
that?
might like it.
Do you want to find out, is the question.
Yes.
Oh my god, we're playing a game of chicken now? Is that what's happening?
No, we're playing the second round of F around and find out with Basil and Sicarius.
All right, focus, guys.
Okay.
You are all welcome in my home. I see a few of you are injured. Would you like
we got the
relief?
piss beat out of us.
That would be lovely.
Yes, please.
Nimia, go get your mother. Nimia bows her head and immediately exits through a doorway off to the side. You are not part of our tribe, as he looks at Oksana. Are you from the city in the forest?
Jesus fucking Christ.
There's a little confusion around that.
Yes,
actually.
yes. I am not sure. I know I don't recognize anyone here, but I can see that you all sort of look like me.
They kind of talk like
This,
you too.
Yes, this is new to me. I have never met anybody like me before. Inside the city or out.
The forest in the city is our sister tribe. The only place within the Dawn's Gate where our kind reside.
I have never heard of this place.
So you know not of our magics.
I know not of any magic. Magic is forbidden in the city.
Of course it is.
She'll look around to see everybody else's reactions to it.
It is.
Just sort of laughing along, like not knowing what's going on.
Either way, new friends, you have come at an ideal time. There has been many raiding parties, and dare I say scouts, that wander through our lands.
What do they seek here?
He grabs onto the large warhammer that rests on the chests directly beside him. There is only one thing of value here. The Red Rock.
Why would they want it? What is it? What does it do?
It is our power. Where our tribe finds its fighting will. Our rage.
They seek to take it from you.
Yes. Long ago, when the city won its day from the butcher, we were given the Red Rock, told to take it far away from the city itself, to watch it carefully. So is the purpose of our tribe. To guard the
Who is
rock
the...
older
who is
than
the
the gods
butcher?
themselves.
This is all new to me, new information. Who is the butcher? What do you speak of?
You live near the city and not know of its history.
I know at one point there was big explosion. This is what I know.
But do you know the birth of the city?
I'm not a big history person myself.
Long ago, before Dawn's Gate was created and ruled over by King Logan, the Lion from the West, a time came when the gods would war with one another. Some call this the God Incursion. Some of these said gods held strongholds over the land. The Butcher was the god that resided over the place now known as Dawn's Gate. It is said with the armies of King Logan, immortal champions, and the prime dragons, they were able to vanquish the Butcher. This is where the city gets its name. It is the gateway to the dawn.
Did any of you know of this before?
This is common knowledge to our people.
I meant, my friends. It seems we are lacking.
I mean, I am generally... Is this... Basil, is this reflective of our world? Or could they just have a different reality here?
Well, it is said that all stories, fake or not, have a measure of truth about them. This could very well be held true, especially with names such as so specifically of Dawn's Gate.
All right. I don't... Dave, I'm assuming I don't have any knowledge of that? Or do we?
Anyone at the table right now or in the scene would not.
Okay.
That's real specific.
That's
Yes,
what I'm
it is.
saying! We've heard
Tristan.
this before, guys! That's like, what?
No, we
What
heard
did
some of
we-
it.
The
We didn't
players-
hear all of it.
The
The
players would
players
know.
have heard this. Yes, that's what I'm saying.
The characters would not.
Absolutely. Okay. But I have never heard of this either, Oksana. So, and I'm in and out of the city. Maybe that's just because I'm in and out of the city a lot.
I've
Who
lived
is
in
it
this
that
cellar
you
most
know?
of my life, so you know.
Sicarius comes up from behind V and kind of bends over by her ear and whispers, "Either way, I love a good story, don't you?"
Yes, I suppose, Sicarius.
Covering behind you.
Oh, God.
Shockingly appropriate. Who entrusted you with this red stone? Who was it that gave it to you?
Not to me. Many chieftains before I. King Logan himself entrusted us with this rock.
Well, then, if you are the rightful keepers, we will help you to protect it.
You are one for protection, yes?
Yes. This is important. To protect what is good.
A smile graces his face. You would do well with our tribe.
She'll just nod at him respectfully.
I don't mean
I
to
nodded
interrupt
him
you.
disrespectfully. Just
Oh.
kidding.
I don't mean to interrupt the really nice offering that Oksana just said. But I don't suppose we were asking your other friends that we met earlier if you've seen anyone like this guy next to me. We're looking for people who
around
look
you, like-
exactly
Kind of.
people who look exactly like him.
Yeah, holy shit, I totally forgot why we were here.
Yes. This whole thing is quite jarring. I was expecting a nightmare, and this seems quite lovely in a
It's
little
just so
side
pretty
quest.
here. I mean, the music alone, it's coming through the trees.
Yes. We do not know where their music comes from. We call it the Ivan Duch.
Nice. Shout out.
And your friend here, we have not seen a man who looks like him. However, there has been some report of a glowing man in the forest.
That sounds promising.
Well.
I like that. Do you know, would you have somebody who could lead us there?
I will speak with the scouting parties, but I'm sorry I cannot expend another man or woman at this point. The raiding parties grow more and more every day. They have already taken out one of our outposts in the south. I worry.
This is no problem. You will not need to spare anyone. You just point us in the direction. We will take care of any raiding parties along the way. And when we have our friend, we will come back to help you.
I'm sure just as talking to her and get this misunderstanding all squared away that everybody can live happily ever after.
I don't know anything about that, but I can tell you personally, I've killed 2 cats now. So I'm pretty much unstoppable.
Good. The roaming party wears the sigil of a puma. You will have many cats to kill, my friends.
It's good.
Suddenly you hear the echo of a small child's laughter. As a small girl rushes in from the side doorway, you hear a woman's voice call out, "Slow down, young one. You're moving way too fast for me." The young girl, no more than maybe 4 years old, runs up to the chieftain. "Papa!" she calls, as she leaps into the chieftain's arms. He picks her up easily and smiles wide as he holds her close. "I see our welcome party has come for our new guests. Come to meet our friends, little one." You hear an older female voice following quickly behind. "I swear, she's as bad as her father. Both of you are stubborn as mules." Sigor laughs. "Maybe, but we are strong as bulls, aren't we?" he says to the young one. "But where are my manners? Introductions must be honored. I'm pleased to meet you all to my greatest treasure. My little ox, Anna."
Oh boy.
Holy fucking shit.
Well. Hello, Oksana. So nice to meet you again.
No. Her name is Anna, my little ox.
You will just look at our party, Oksana. Does she look familiar to you?
No, this is massive coincidence. Nice to meet you, Anna.
Way to stay in character.
She snuggles in closer to her father. Suddenly you see a older Goliath woman. She wears a loose tourniquet, also made of leather. You see the same fur lining around the various seams. And rested directly in the center of her neck, a long, green, almost jade-like stone. I'm sorry for such interruptions. It is a pleasure to meet all of you. My name is Talia.
Very
Hello.
nice to meet you all.
Hello.
I'm guessing Oksana sees the necklace?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. She's a little quiet as she the wheels are turning.
Gremor will crawl up Oksana's body and whisper in her ear. Are you I'm just checking. Are you getting this? See what?
Yeah. I am very confused. Why has this book replicated my necklace?
I think we can confirm at this point that this is one of your memories. You know, you never really told me a whole lot about you. But I remembered the house, the orphanage. I remember that. I remember the cats. Why isn't any of this clicking for you?
Is this because I don't know who I am or where I am from?
How the fuck have we never talked about that?
We have, briefly. It was short conversation, very much like this one.
I thought you were bullshitting me. You have
No.
a really weird sense of humor. It's hard to pick up on sometimes.
I woke up in forest one day, alone. And then I met my mother bear, my sister bear, and my brother bear.
Oh my
I
god.
have only one memory of my past. I have never shared it with anyone, and I will not share it with you now.
All right, touchy subject. I get it, but I think you might be looking at your mother bear right now. And he'll point to the woman wearing the necklace, and he'll crawl down to you again and go back to.
She smiles towards all of you. My husband said there might be needing of repair and healing. Yes?
Oh, yes, please. We've been through quite a lot.
Please, in that case, come with me. As she turns and walks, she begins to walk out the side exit that her and the young child came from.
Can I look at the little girl more closely? Does she have marks on her, like Oksana's markings with the bears and stuff?
No.
Does she look like me?
Safe to assume, yes.
Okay. She's quietly following and watching the little girl and Talia.
Okay.
Basil will move over to Oksana and say, are you doing all right? This is a lot to perhaps process, and I know that you wish to not discuss at length your particulars of your upbringing and the like, but this place has a way of pulling it out of us.
Yes, it is all very confusing. I think I will need to speak to them.
Just remember that what you see here is still just a story in your mind. As much as we may wish it to be, these are not the people whom they may bear resemblance, much as you are you, and that child over there is not.
I think I understand.
Basil will sort of go to pat you on the shoulder, but realize that there's been a lot of touching today, so he quickly recoils his hands and
Well played. Well played.
yeah.
There's
You can see that
nothing
there's
wrong
not-
with signs of an affection, especially from friends.
Okay, Sicarius, just stay next to me, all right?
Absolutely.
Now, respite definitely seems like it is exactly what the doctor ordered, so I'm going to go and not be nearly dying.
Okay. She leads you into what looks like a primitive infirmary. A number of cots laid out that seem to be just bent twigs and branches that have risen from the ground and attached themselves to one another, creating stable foundations. First, her attention is drawn to Gremor. You seem very wounded, little one.
Yeah. Not too much more than usual. I'm sorry, you're very tall.
Yes, I get that from time to time.
Pretty though, very pretty. Very pretty, very tall. I should stop talking.
Yes.
Alright.
She begins to look over your wounds. Holding
That
on to
string's
the...
still holding up real well on the peg leg there.
She holds on to the medallion around her neck and closes her eyes, holding her hand against the wounds. You begin to feel a faint warmth around. As almost instinctively, the wounds begin to close on your arms.
On.
Jesus Christ.
She then looks down at your leg, or the lack thereof. This will not do for a warrior.
I mean, sure, it might be a little bit of a slap-ass job, but I mean, it's been holding pretty good, pretty decent. And as he like goes to slap it, you can definitely hear like the splintering, like just like very clearly rickety.
Do you mind? You have
He
nothing
looks
to
over to
fear, here,
Oksana.
little one.
All right.
She bends
And he'll
down.
take baby diaper changing formation.
Oh my god.
She sits you upright and says, no, like this. She reaches down, taking the string, now frayed, and begins to unravel it. She gently removes half of the peg leg and rests her hand over top of your thigh, just above where the leg is no longer there. You watch as a greenish glow begins to emanate around the broken, splintered peg leg. When it begins to grow downwards, fluffing out more, becoming thicker, changing its shape. You watch as the tendrils of the tree branches itself begin to wrap around one another like muscles. It forms a knee as well as a calf. You watch as it continues to grow, as it sprouts outward, pivoting upwards, resembling that of a foot. With a number of small leaves now growing out the side of it.
Guys, I'm just like Shade now. I'm the new Shade.
There you go, little one. You are good as new.
As a point, he's gonna try to wiggle the foot and see if he has control over it, if it has flexibility, or if it's more like a form thing.
As you focus on the foot, you watch and struggle. You focus on bending the foot. And at first, there's nothing. Before it slowly starts to bend.
Holy fucking shit. He's like freaking out a little bit.
You bend at the knee, and it seems to work the same as a leg would.
I am officially unstoppable. This was the only thing holding me back.
With a jolt
This is
of,
excellent news.
with a jolt of excitement, you watch as Gremor begins to phase again, snapping in between his ethereal form
Oh, yeah.
and solid.
Yep.
A few more blinks, and it stops. It seems Gremor has been made whole again.
Just a burst of excitement sort of goes over Gremor, and he like jumps both feet like first like back onto his legs and just starts doing like a little like stupid dance and he's like tap dancing. You are the greatest person I've ever met. He goes and hugs what I can only assume is Oksana's mother.
As you hug Talia, she hugs you back. Don't worry. We take care of our people here.
You can consider me one of your people forever. I'm never leaving this place. He like kind of thinks about that. And second thought.
Wide smiles grace all of your friends' faces, taking in a moment in what could only be described as an almost suicide mission. You take comfort in the moment. Talia stands again. Who's next? And as we fade away, we find ourselves exiting a back alleyway. A young woman leading the way for a man wrapped in bandages. Are you always this slow?
I guess I am.
How
I
old
always
are
get
you?
there, get ready to go.
How old are you? Like 100?
More or less.
Dumb joke. We're almost there. We're going to meet my partner. I think he has some interesting information that he'd be willing to share if you're joining us on this quest. She leads you
Very well.
further down a street road. While you're still in Skystone, you note that this area of town seems to be more similar to that of Dog's Breath. Not as dirty, but run down. Seems this area is not properly taken care of like many of the other sites you've seen within Skystone. She stops you in front of a particular building. The front looks similar to that of a storefront. Looking inside, you can see a number of items that seem to be on shelves. There doesn't necessarily seem to be a consistency, but a plethora: weapons, armor, gear for adventuring. More of a general store than anything else. Tinsley suddenly pivots and moves around to the side of the building. This way. As you follow behind
I will
Tinsley, you see a small staircase, very rickety but made of stone. Both of you begin to climb, you following closely behind Tinsley. It wraps around the side of the building leading up to the back before it finally reaches a doorway. She looks back at you. Don't piss off, Nick, as she opens the door and walks inward.
Oh boy.
As you follow in behind her, you find yourself in what looks like a small office. Not much in terms of decoration. In fact, there's a number of scattered papers atop a desk. And directly behind a desk, you see a chair turned the opposite way. Nick, I found someone. I think this might help with our investigation. I'm not sure. I brought him back here. I'm sorry I didn't. Not to worry, kid. As the chair spins around, you see what's roughly what you would consider a man, made entirely of metal. He has the features of any typical man: a jawbone, strange large eyes that doesn't seem to have any pupils inside of it. He wears a tight-rimmed hat and what looks like a long trench coat, buttoned up right at the center. A red man's scarf tucked away inside. What's your name, stranger?
I'm called Tristan. Let's make it easy.
He looks over at Tinsley. And Tristan here. He's good in your books, kid? He seems okay. He knows the librarian's son. He's looking for them. And she kind of rambles on a little bit. Very much like a teen would. It's all right, kids. I'll take it from here. Well, Tristan, the name's Shard. Nick Shard. Tell me, what do you know about the Red Tome? But that, my friends, is going to be a story for another evening.
No. No.
Well, balls.
With that said, folks, thank you so much for joining us for the evening. As always, it's been an absolute blast. Hopefully you stick around for the adventures going forward, because I got lots and lots of fun stuff planned. We'll see how it all fits together in the end.
Oh, I have an announcement before you walk us out.
Okay.
We are one subscriber away on YouTube from 2,500 followers is what I'm trying to get to. We're one away. So if you aren't subbed to us on YouTube, just sub. Just do it. Just click it. We're one away.
Don't tell them what to do. You know what? Everyone, go unsubscribe from our YouTube.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
I dare
There's
you.
some people who would do that. Make me so sad. Please
You're
don't do
cowards. And then unsubscribe for...
I never got to thank Talia for healing us because everybody was so afraid to have Sicarius touch them.
that. We did it! We did it!
Hey!
Hooray! Thank you, chat!
You're sheep.
Thank
You're all
you.
sheep.
God, don't say these things to the people. They're not going to like us anymore. Well, thank you so much to whoever went over there and hit that subscribe button. It is extremely helpful for us. Whether it's a follow here or a subscribe over there, doesn't really matter. It just, it helps in the long run. So thank you ever so much for all the assistance. We definitely much appreciate it. With that said, again, one last shout out for our artist of the evening. Again, guys, if you've liked the music, there's a ton of different ones out there that are absolutely fantastic. Highly recommended. Ivan Duch is the name. Thank you, Crimson, for dropping that in chat one last time. Very, very much appreciated. And we are going to do some rating for the evening. I think, let's go find... Let's find someone lovely, shall we? Bobby, buy me some time.
Hey guys, Bobby here from Careful Cantrip. Listen, Careful Cantrip Platinum is well on its way to the early stages of planning, which will then become the early stages of execution of planning. And boy, howdy, start getting hyped. There's gonna be a lot of pushback dates for Careful Cantrip Platinum, so just be ready for those. We're thinking 2029 right now, but we'll see. How's that?
Don't put a date out.
Yeah, don't make us actually be held to something.
I said there will be pushbacks to that date.
He did say 2029.
Okay, Chad, here's the deal.
Something for Careful Cantrip Platinum by 2020.
Here's the deal. We got a fair amount of you in here right now watching the show. I found a D&D group. They look fun. They look wholesome. They've got one viewer right now. let's go in and show them what the Tripper fam
Go
can do.
kiss 'em.
Let's go kiss them. Hashtag CC Love Raid as soon as we get over there. Show them some love. Drop them some follows. Do whatever. Blow up their chat. Show them a good night. We got to
Exude
pay
your inner
forward in
Sicarius
kindness.
right now.
Yeah, assume your inner Sicarius. That is
Share the love.
that is the way it's done around here, folks.
Respectfully.
Show them that love. Oh, they don't accept raids. Okay, fantastic. That's okay.
They don't deserve our love.
But we accept hype dreams.
Hype train right at the end, guys. You're killing us. You're absolutely killing us. All right. In that case, I don't see anybody else who's really streaming right now. Hang on.
Perception Studios is streaming Shaylin Legacy.
Yeah, Perception Studio or Casters and Castles.
We're gonna go raid our friends over at Knights of Silvermoon. They're hanging out, doing their thing right
I
now.
win.
Bobby wins. Still show him lots of love over there once you get over there. Thank you so much for watching, as always, for the evening. I'm going to go ahead and start the raid. Yeah, if you're not following them already, give them a follow. Again, guys, you don't know how much the follows mean to everybody. It's free, and it helps a massive amount. You really don't understand. But with that said, before I leave you off, to all the adventurers out there, whether finding yourself in the middle of a town, unsure where to go or what to do while looking for a companion's relative, or hidden away in a strange book, in a memory far lost, I beg of you all, one word of caution. Be careful out there. You can trip. Love every single one of your faces. Y'all are the best. And we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye now.